the fuck I'm from one time, man. Represent where the fuck I'm from one time, man. Nigga over here, you know what I'm saying, doing this shit for about 15 years, man. Time to get this money though. I'm from Texas, nigga, where they Cadillac pushes. Just blowing up my phone, but I'm in the kitchen cooking up the Texas, nigga, where they Cadillac pushes. Just blowing up my phone, but I'm in the kitchen cooking Texas, nigga, where they Cadillac pushes. Just blowing up my phone, but I'm in the kitchen cooking up the work. Still got bricks for the dirt. I be on my grind, getting mine. Haters' hearts hurt, cause a nigga stay shining, pulling up in some phone. Stepping out clean to the ground, rap Lauren. Bitches on my dick, cause my paper stacks tall, and they see me every day in the gallery a mile. Bitch, I'm 6'6" tall, like I play basketball. But I'm still ballin', slim thug and never fall. 15 years later, deal getting longer. And a nigga freestyle game getting stronger. Used to sell work on the corner, now I'm selling his fiends. Breaking boys off on swings looking clean. Breaking boys off on swings looking clean in that bit. I'm talking all the Narge. Got a bitch in my penthouse, give them massage. Bentley in my garage. Bitch, I been ballin'. I ain't never stopping here. Yeah, them hoes callin' slowin' up a phone. Trying to get some paper. Garage full of cars, stay shitting on my neighbors when I'm pulling out clean. Sipping on the lean. It's that boy Thugger and I'm shutting down the scene. Pulling out clean. Sipping on the lean. It's that boy Thugger and I'm shutting down the scene. Got a pocket full of green. Phone full of hoes. I be hitting popping those. Lobster on my plate. Oh, nigga like me eating real good. And I came from the hood. Been the boss man and the shit is understood. Still gripping on wood and the foreign. Bitches ain't tripping on, haters ain't boring. Roll with the strap, got your judge sitting close. If a nigga fuck with me, he gon' get burned like toast. Cause I'm a real G, and I ain't playing games. And everybody in these streets know my fucking name. Put in work, put in time. So now G like me, sitting back to shine, looking off the top floors. Clear clothes, candy doors, Thugger never tripping. Hoes know how it go, gotta pay the fetty. Gotta pay the green. I ain't sticking my dick in under you hoes. Give me the green. Bitches better bring it. Thugger swinging. Hit the bullet boy, came through, game changing. Still gain fame and I'm still gaining bucks. Bops mad at me, don't give a fuck. Them niggas is some simps. Bitch, we some pimps. Walking in the filth with a motherfucking limp. Popping up a gold bottles. Section full of models. Yeah, boss like me. Smash Ferrari throttles. Smash Ferrari throttles. Going real fast. Mashing down 610, 200 on the dash. All about the cash. Hell yeah, I'm getting paper. And I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking hater. R.I.P. Pimp C, niggas like me keep it trill. And even when them other niggas fake, I keep it real. R.I.P. Pimp C, niggas like me keep it trill. And even when them other niggas fake, I keep it real. I ain't got no deal, I ain't got shit for me. Still getting paper, you ain't know I'm about C, I'm about my paper. I'm about my money. Broke niggas better looking at a nigga funny. Got them looking sick. I took them niggas chicks. And now they all mad. Bitches on my dick.
Oh, what's going on? Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Doc Holliday, and you already know we are back with another afternoon session of HBCU tonight. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. So, yes, and we got Miss Equation. Gonna let you know, tell everybody good afternoon. Also, to let you know to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And last but not least, drop your school of who you representing for this year in the year of our Lord 2024. All right. So y'all already know we are simulcast on between YouTube and Twitter. So for the folks on Twitter, all you have to do if you want to bring yourself onto the dark side of YouTube, make sure that you just come onto the dark side, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share it with your folks. And you can comment onto the for the channel, and then you can just go right back to Twitter. See how that see how easy that is. But we got who else we got up in here? Mr. Edwin, Uncle Edwin. How you doing, sir? How you doing? So and it is we got let's see, today is Thursday. We got 4 days left until Swag Media Day. And still trying to get everything settled. So we had to do some adjustments because the little skit that I had when I said the rent robbed my paycheck, let me tell you the story about what really happened. All right. And the rent did rob my paycheck. But let's go ahead and hit these commercials for right now, and we'll be right back. It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holliday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. It's your boy Doc Holliday. We swing to the left, down I-20, and we dip. We going down there for Swag Media Day, July 16, 2024, being hosted at the Sheraton Birmingham Hotel in downtown Birmingham. And we got all schools that's going to be represented in the house on that day. We talking about Jackson State, Valley, Alcorn, Pine Bluff, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Grambling, Southern, Bama State, A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and FAMU. But in order for your boy to get down there, in order for you to get that good content, you got to hit the Cash App, you got to hit the PayPal, you got to hit the Zelle. We also got to hit that Super Chat while we on the live stream. And so, make sure you get the donations in so we can get down there. And like I said, you're going to swing to the left. Hit I-20 and we dip. Yeah, baby. Hi. All right. Who else we got up in here? We got HBCU Band Talk. What's going on, sir? As always, you're going to come in here with your hair Wildcats. If you haven't known, like I said, you want to do it, donation to finish up, try to get this thing going. You can hit the Cash App, the PayPal, and the Zelle, and I know it's been first of the month was last week. So yeah. So the story is what happened was, so I put most of my money into my savings account, and I should have thought about moving it to another account that I have, like a whole separate account that I have. And so on the day that I got paid, which was right the last Monday before July, I did not get a chance to move most of that money over to the savings account. And so of course my freaking rent came and robbed me of my whole of the check. So I have at least like $400 right now, and I know everybody's been putting in and helping me out and everything, and I appreciate everybody for doing that. So I am trying to get that money recouped right now, and it will be a huge blessing if we can get that going today. I'm more than likely going to do one more show tomorrow. I work Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 10. Now, unless I do a late night show on Sunday or Saturday, that will be something where we can just kind of just go through and do a lot of things and try to get everything going on. But other than that, I will try to leave out Monday, either Monday morning or Monday evening, and be ready for Tuesday. I did get my credentials, y'all, so I appreciate the SWAC office for doing that for me. Second year in a row for doing that. Third time getting credentials from the SWAC. And we already know with championship Saturday for football last year for last season. So other than that, man, it behoove me, everybody, like send it through PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, whatever you can. We can get on down here, have a good time, show you all the good content, and basically just man, just I just feel so bad, y'all. I just feel so bad. But you know, out of the darkness, you know what they say, out of the darkness, comes the light. So we got Mr. J. JTV is in the building right now. KD, what's going on? I want to send out my prayers to one of our family members, Mr. J. I mean, not Mr. J, but Mr. Wayne. He told me that Dad is going through chemo treatment, and we want to send him some kind words and some prayers towards him. That way he can know that we care about him and that we pull for him to get through this whole ordeal. But other than that, we got, let's see what we got in the news today on the HBCU front. Let's see what we got over here. Let me see. Check on my Chrome. All right, so this is coming from HBCU Game Day. HBCU looking to regain accreditation after nearly 30 years. Now, me and Mr. Ford, we talked about this a while back, and we was talking about Knoxville College. An HBCU in a rural Tennessee town is looking to regain accreditation after nearly 30 years. Knoxville College, an HBCU founded 149 years ago, is looking to regain accreditation with the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools, aka TRACS, according to Knox News. The Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, SACS, withdrew Knoxville College's accreditation back in 1997, making students ineligible for federal financial aid. The light on the hill has never burned out, said former interim president Dr. Keith Lindsay. We got to learn from past mistakes in order to move this school forward. If Knoxville College wasn't meant to be here, it wouldn't be here. And for those who say the school needs to be closed, they just don't understand the significance of why the school is here in the first place and why it has continued to endure. The school's enrollment problems date back to the 1970s. It lost its state accreditation and dropped to just 11 students back in 2015. Causing a brief suspension in enrollment, the state of Tennessee eventually allowed the school to reopen, offering online classes only. There is a $10,000 fee with the accreditation application. The HBCU is $1.8 million in debt, according to its most recently filed Form 990. So basically, that's from the IRS for tax-exempt organizations. The college also owes the city of Knoxville more than $28,000 in property tax, according to the city's property tax database. The accreditation application was previously promised the last 2 years, but never completed, according to the report. We have gone through the process as a board and reviewing each of the 17 categories the school must application. We have approved all of those. So now it's just a matter of submission. And as soon as we send that off, we will make that information available to the public. I am confident that will happen within the next 30 days, we said. Also, Cheney University was recently removed from accreditation probation. Congratulations to them. Let's make sure we can get our schools back on track and getting ready to making sure we could get more students up in there. We did regain Morris Brown last year, so that is a step. That is a step ahead. So yeah, appreciate. We gonna make sure that we appreciate our universities. In other news, this is kind of crazy right here. Caleb Snowden, an HBCU high jumper at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, will have to wait another 4 years to become an Olympian after he was not selected to travel to the Paris Olympics, despite his second place finish at the U.S. Olympic trials. Traditionally, the top 3 finishers at the trials automatically make the Olympic team, but Snowden and others had not met the Olympic standard of 2.33 meters, even though he finished second in the trials. Shelby McEwen, the only jumper to beat Snowden at the Olympic trials, won by clearing 2.3 meters. He had previously cleared the Olympic standard height during a meet in the Czech Republic, so his first place finish secured him a spot in Paris. The rest of the team could not be officially selected until the world rankings were updated. Javon Harrison was ranked 3rd and was the only American besides McEwen to have met the Olympic standard. He cleared 2.36 meters during a meet in Budapest, Hungary. Vernon Turner claimed the final spot on the USA high jump team for the Paris Olympics by being the highest ranked American after the 2 automatic qualifiers. Turner ranked number 20th, did not reach the finals at the U.S. Olympic trials, but his performances throughout the season earned him enough points in the world ranking system to make the trip to Paris. Caleb Snowden is the first track and field athlete in Pine Bluff history to advance to the U.S. Olympic team trial finals. So he said it feels good to competing against the best in the country in the Olympic trial to represent the USA team in Paris, said Snowden to the school's media department. My training had been going well, and it's an honor to be among the top 12 to compete in Sunday's finals. Snowden made history earlier this year at the NCAA Indoor Championships by becoming the first high jumper from an HBCU to secure a top 3 position in both the NCAA Indoor and Outdoor Championships in the same year. Man, that's crazy. That's unfortunate that he got to wait another 4 years he got to wait another 4 years to actually qualify for the next Olympics. And I think he said, okay, now we get into it. So HBCU Go TV's 2024 HBCU football broadcast schedule is up right now. So the Allen Media Group, free streaming digital platform HBCU Go, the leading media provider for the nation's 107 historically black colleges and universities, is proud to announce the 2024 football schedule. A total of 28 football matchups highlight the 2024 season, including 8 CIAA games, 9 SIAC games, 14 SWAC matchups, and including the Southern Heritage Classic, 6 homecoming games, and the CIAA football championship. So this is the third year. So they got a lot. So 8 and 17. That's a lot. That is a lot of football games, y'all. That is a lot of football games. So, so it starts off with Virginia Union taking on Kentucky State, and that's and then the second game is Clark Atlanta versus Fort Valley. So basically, for this season, they are showing they're going to be showing 2 games a day. It's 2 games for the day. So they'll have they'll have a SWAC matchup or a CIAA matchup or a SIAC matchup. Of course, the homecomings, and then the Southern Heritage Classic is going to be played, is going to be shown on the network, which I think, like I said, this is a good thing right there. So they're showing the Tuskegee and Grambling, Savannah State and Southern, Kentucky State versus Fort Valley, Winston-Salem versus Virginia State, Clark Atlanta versus Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State and Bethune, Miles College and Allen University, Bowie State and Fayetteville State, homecoming game, Pine Bluff versus Alcorn, another homecoming game, Bethune-Cookman versus Alabama A&M. That's going to be on October the 12th. Another homecoming game, Clark Atlanta versus Central State. So Bluefield State versus Bowie State, that's the homecoming game. And Pine Bluff and Grambling, that's Grambling's homecoming on the 19th. They will be showing Jackson State versus Bethune-Cookman for their homecoming. That's October the 26th. Johnson C. Smith and Winston-Salem. Benedict versus Fort Valley. Southern versus A&M. Valley versus Jackson State. Virginia Union versus Virginia State. The CIAA championship game on November the 16th. Valley versus FAMU on the 16th of November. That would be a good one right there. Alabama A&M versus Valley on the 23rd. And Texas Southern versus Pine Bluff also on the 23rd. So we got a lot of games going on. We got a lot of games that's going to be shown, and that's a good thing because remember when he first started out, they only showed one game per weekend. So it's good that he's going to have two games showing on Saturdays instead of just the one. And of course that you see the Bethune-Cookman and the Valley games are going to be on HBCU Go. So if you're going to be looking for those games and you think they're going to be on ESPN Plus, they're not. So they're going to be on HBCU Go. So they're going to be on the 3rd. This is the HBCU Go is the secondary. It's the secondary rights. So let me go ahead and get this out the way. But so let's see what we got up in here. Yeah. PV versus everybody. Shout out to my boy Lionel, man. Let's see what else we got. Mr. Edwin said, oh yeah, for Caleb Snowden, another 4 years to strive to qualify for the Olympics. It appears he will have to plan to include activities that will get him points to qualify once he also does what he needs to do at trials. Also, this will be his time. I don't know what his classification is, but if he's a senior, this will be his time to actually go pro. He can actually go pro for this, and he just got to find his own sponsor so he can go ahead and go to all these weeks so he can, get paid for doing something that you love. Also, what Mr. Moore said is what you got, Mr. Moore. Having priority rights to our games, it makes sense that they would take damn near all of our best games from a traditional perspective and from oh my goodness, I'm tongue tied. Predictive finish perspective. And Lana says more concerned about with HBCU Go showing our basketball Olympic sport games. I need to see more of that coverage. I think they show a lot of our basketball games, so now it shouldn't be a issue as far as when it comes down to having the men play on one day and the women play on another day, and then both men and women play come in between on a Saturday. So that I think that's what we need to, as far as the basketball, and I think with baseball, we need to see more on baseball. So we shall see what happens, man. We shall see what happens. But other than that, let me see anything else on the news front. Let's see anything else on the news on the news front for today. Other than that, it's kind of funny, but FAMU is looking for a new PA announcer to be the voice of Bragg. Hey, I'm just reporting the news. I'm not trying to ground y'all, be trying to the ground. But that is what's going on. Oh yeah, we do. So other than that, like I said, not Preview, but FAMU is looking for a new PA announcer to be the voice of Bragg. This comes by as 80 sites. Let's go of I forgot the person's name, but the voice of Bragg Stadium. And basically, it's a new era. She wants to start a new era. Y'all gotta understand. She wants to start a new era. But now a lot of people are up in arms. They are starting a petition to try to get his job back. But at the same time, if you are in an at-will state, there is nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. She wants to go in a different direction for the athletic program, and what can we say? What can we say? Then let's see. Last night, if you did not watch Ken Clark KC 1400 last night, they had the all great Jimmy Smith on the show. Jacksonville Jaguar great, Jackson State great wide receiver. And in his mind, Callaway great, but yeah, man, it was an interesting conversation. It was a very interesting conversation. It was I wouldn't even call it an interview. I call it a conversation. I don't want to call anything like that an interview because to me, an interview really not engaging with the person. But a casual conversation. And if you haven't seen on Twitter, I kind of put a post out there on Twitter last night after the show. Am I able to turn on closed caption for this video? You should be able to do it. If you're on YouTube, you should be able to put it on closed caption. You must be at work. You must be at work, Kim. But yeah, I just put it out there like, hey, NFL, it's time for y'all to put Jimmy Smith in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So everybody needs to go out there, like it, repost, quote it, and let the NFL know it's time to put this man in the Hall of Fame. It's time to put Harold Jackson in the Hall of Fame. Who else from Jackson State can we put in the Hall of Fame? It's time to put Lewis Tillman up there too. Like seriously, it's time to put our greats in the Hall of Fame. We should have right now. We should have six Hall of Famers right now, and they tripping with Harold Jackson and Jimmy Smith. So, wait a minute. Jay, your uncle is Lester Holmes. Wow. Leon Steels. Yep. Okay. Appreciate you, Miss Kim. Then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. In fact, thank you, Quay. That will be tomorrow's show, tomorrow afternoon show. Because remember, I go to work tomorrow from 4 to midnight. Um, it's gonna be all about the greats of swag. So we're gonna talk about that. That's a good idea. That's a great idea right there. We're gonna talk about that. But yeah, if you haven't been on YouTube, I mean not YouTube, if you haven't been on Twitter, make sure that you read my post, quote it, repost it, like it to get people to see it. And that way word gets out to the NFL. Next year for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Jimmy Smith's names need to be on that ballot. He needs to be elected. And we don't need to play no politics, y'all. Yeah, get your uncle. Come on. Isaac Cole, Everson Walls need to be in. All right. Let's see. What are the storylines for the HBCU Media Day? Storylines. All right. We're going to get into that. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow too. The storylines for SWAT Media Day. Shout out to the SIAC for having a media day. I think it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday in Atlanta. Well represented over at the College Football Hall of Fame. You got the MEAC Media Day starting. I think it starts this week or next week. You got the CIAA has started already. Was earlier this week. So, what's going on, Mr. Willie? So yeah, we got some real good storylines for the SWAT, for the MEAC. So when I get to work, and I'm usually at the register, y'all. So I'm gonna have my pen and pad. Literally, I've been writing down things on here. That way, I won't I won't forget and everything. So, and it was a success, man. Side Media today was a great success yesterday. Also, shout out to Dr. Cavill, man. I think he left earlier in the he left earlier over the weekend before the hurricane tropical storm Beryl or Hurricane Beryl made landfall on the Texas coast. So shout out to Dr. Cavill for getting out and making sure that he's safe. But I will say this. I know Damien, you are in Houston, if I'm not mistaken. But the city of Houston is still 80% without power. Houston is still 80% without power. Hopefully, some of the flood water did recede this in the last couple of days, but is without power right now. And man, we just hope and pray that Houston can recover from all this right here. And this is the second time in years that Houston was inundated with water and they lost power. Last time was Hurricane Harvey. So yeah, we hope and pray that Houston is going to be all right and everybody get their power on. So other than that, so it's now 50%, but I mean, also, yes, go check out the new branded Tiger Talk TV. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. Very interesting. I like it. I really do. Sharpshooters Podcast. We got Tuskegee in the house. What's going on? Tuskegee is in the house today. And also make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you hit. Let's get the donation going, y'all. I appreciate you, so we can go ahead and get me out there. You know what? I haven't talked. I chatted with her on Twitter. And she had told me what was going on. So other than that, I haven't talked to her since. I'm gonna try to see if I can give her a call to Dr. Kanisha. Hopefully her and her family is doing all right. Appreciate you. This is your number one question, Mr. Jones, Mr. Emmett. How can we get most money through streaming? That's a good question. Okay. Let me write that down. Yeah, okay. That's good. That's a good question right there. I'll make sure I do that. Make sure I ask them that. Oh yeah, that I'm gonna ask them that too. So let's go ahead and hit this commercial break. And while you hit the commercial break, make sure you hit the Cash App, the PayPal, or the Zelle right now. I'll be right back. It's your boy Doc Holliday. We swing to the left. Down I-20 and we dip. We going down there for Swag Media Day, July 16th, 2024. Being hosted at the Sheraton Birmingham Hotel in downtown Birmingham. And we got all schools that's going to be represented in the house on that day. We talking about Jackson State, Valley, Alcorn, Pine Bluff, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Grambling, Southern, Bama State, A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and FAMU. But in order for your boy to get down there, in order for you to get that good content, you got to hit the Cash App, you got to hit the PayPal, you got to hit the Zelle. We also got to hit that Super Chat while we on the live stream. And so, make sure you get your donations in so we can get down there. And like I said, you're going to swing to the left. Hit I-20 and we dip. Yeah, baby. All right, we are back, y'all. We are back. So let's go ahead and get to it. That's the reason why everybody's here. So we got 60 people. We got 60 people watching between YouTube and Twitter. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button right now. But let's get to it, y'all. Now, y'all see the title. This is preseason. This is preseason, HBCU preseason top 10. Division 1. So not Division 2. I should have edited this yesterday, but it's for Division 1. All right. So we're gonna go from 10 on down. Okay, I got you, man. It's really easy. If you really think about it, it's real easy. It's real easy. If you got time, you can hit me up tomorrow, and I might need your expertise on D2 because I'm gonna do a preseason top 10 on Division 2 HBCU football, so we can get into that. But we're going to start off at number 10. Coming in at number 10, the South Carolina State Bulldogs. They are coming in off a 5-6 record, 3-2-3 in the MEAC conference. Now, storyline is Buddy Pugh goes into retirement. Next person to come up is Chennis Berry. Chennis Berry is coming in from Division 2 Benedict. He's inheriting a team that pretty much Buddy Pugh basically handpicked. Really not too many transfers in this whole thing. Everything is done either through high school or JUCO ranks. The biggest question mark is quarterback. But I figured that the quarterback position has been fulfilled with the return of Eric Phoenix to South Carolina. Remember, he was at Benedict during the days of Chennis Berry when the first year they went undefeated in the SIAC. So Eric Phoenix comes in from Murray State, really didn't do much at Murray State. So he comes in, and I'm thinking he's going to be penciled to be the starter for the Bulldogs. Also, with what's going on with Coach Berry coming in for Benedict, you're going to have Benedict pipeline. So I think he had probably, if I'm not mistaken, at least 7 to 8 players come with him from Benedict, which is nothing but a little old short drive from Orangeburg, from Columbia to Orangeburg. On defense, he did lose 2 stalwarts on defense in Jablonski Green and Patrick Godbolt. So he is looking to replace those 2 stalwarts on the defensive line and in the linebacker spot. And the main thing about South Carolina State with just Chennis Berry, period, can he turn the program around? Can he bring the program back to prominence where it was when Coach Pugh had taken over, and can he get it up there to where Coach Jeffries was back in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s? So those are some things that you're going to be looking at right there for South Carolina State. They do have a very tough schedule. They start off their season playing, I think they start off their season playing FAMU, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at their schedule in a minute. We did schedule last in the last couple of some weeks ago. So sorry about that, y'all, for the pause. So yes, they do start off their season August 31st at Bragg Memorial Stadium against Florida A&M. What a way to start the season off. What a way to start the season off. So that is the very telling. That's what's going to tell if he bringing the program back to prominence, or he's still going to be a lot of work with this program against FAMU. So let's see what people got to say about this. And I'm going off and look, this is my poll. This is not through Hero Sports. This is not through FCS. This is not through Athlon. This is not through anything. This is just me. This is mine. This is mine. So I don't want nobody to get they feelings in the tough in pinch, but so can Coach Berry be the PWI this season? They do have Tennessee Tech on their schedule. They also have the Citadel, which is their second game of the season, on their schedule. So, and Georgia Southern. They won't beat Georgia Southern. They will be competitive against Georgia Southern, but they won't beat them. I would say that. Do not beat me up. They do play North Carolina A&T in Orangeburg this year. That will be the end of September. They also have Fort Valley October the 19th in Orangeburg. And then they have Central on a Thursday. That will be Halloween in Orangeburg. They have the Bison of Howard in D.C. November the 9th. And they have Morgan State in Baltimore on November the 16th. That is a 3-week stretch to see if he got the program going in the right direction. All right. So let's move to the next one at number 9. At number 9, we got Morgan State coming in at 9th place. This is Coach Damon Wilson's 3rd year with the program. Remember, the first year he came in kind of late, couldn't really get the recruits that he wanted to get in, and basically he still did put up a competitive team and a competitive record in his first year. Last season was his 2nd year in the program. Making more strides. Now, with this schedule, with what happened last year, they ended up being 4-6. Remember, homecoming was canceled because of the school shooting. All right. So I think this could have been 5-6. This could have been 6-5 for Morgan. The main issue is quarterback play.
quarterback play for the last 2 years was atrocious. It started to pick up a little bit more down the line when the season progressed. They did not have enough as far as for the offense. But defense kept them in a lot of games. They held North Carolina Central to only 16 points on a Thursday night game. Remember last season. Remember that. If you watched the game last year, they held Central to 16 points. 16 points. So that meant that their defense was on point. The issue is with Morgan State, it's always going to be their offense. It's always, and not just the offense, it's going to be QB play. So we already know defense is a mainstay, and that what is Coach Wilson hangs his hat on defense. But the only question mark is, the biggest question mark is who is going to be QB1. Will they go with the QB from last season, Taj Hill? That's something that I will see, or will they go with somebody else? And they also, remember last season they had a close game against Akron. They should have won that game if the QB would not have fumbled the ball. They you're driving down the field, you got a minute so left in the game. Akron applied pressure, fumble on the play, scoop and score. Akron takes the game. I think they took that game by 4. But we got to understand with close games for right now with Morgan State. And hopefully they can get better QB play this coming up season. What is the point of me doing the top 10 preseason? Because it's preseason. Guess what? And I can do that. Appreciate you for tuning in. All right, coming in. We got coming in number 8. We got Prairie View coming in at number 8. They are coming off of a SWAC championship appearance. 2 out of the last 3 years. And last season, as of course, they got destroyed by FAMU in the championship game. The main issue will be replacing Trayvon Conley at quarterback. From sources that I know, 2 QBs that's going to be in the running for the QB1 position will be Lucas Coley. Is transferred from University of Houston. Also, Cam Peters is in the running to be QB1. So we should see a good QB battle coming up in the next couple of weeks for fall camp. Another thing that Coach McDowell did this season was to bring in a new OC. And the person they brought in is very familiar with Prairie View, and that is Anthony Whedon. He's the new OC coming in from Campbell, who he was the OC while Mike Minter was the head football coach at Campbell. So you're going to see a lot of wrinkles. You're going to see a lot of offense with this team. that, like I said, the main issue is who's going to be the QB for the Panthers. And the last thing I want to see is improvement on the defense. Defense gave up a lot of points last year, gave up a lot of yards last year. Defense kept them in games, and defense played them out of games. So those are the main things we want to see with Prairie View coming in. They were 6-6 last year. Of course, anybody would say they backdoored themselves into the SWAC championship game, but I feel like they earned that right to be in the chip. The only thing is it didn't go as well as folks wanted to go. And I have them at number 8. Do I have them winning the SWAC West? Yes, I do. I have them winning the SWAC West, but I have them at number 8 because they have a lot of question marks coming in to the season. Remember, this is preseason, y'all. This is not final. This is just preseason. So when the full season starts, we can go back to this and we could do another ranking. We always going to do rankings. I'm always going to have a ranking show the Monday after football Saturday. All right. So we're not gonna change anything about this. Got you, Mr. Hayne. Gotcha. All right. Coming in, I got to finish writing off my stuff. Coming in at number 7, we have North Carolina Central. Central coming off a 9-3 season where they made an appearance in the NCAA playoff for FCS. Biggest question mark. Who replaces Davius Richard? That is the biggest question mark for the day, for the season. Who replaces Davius Richard? This is something that Coach Oliver, I don't want to call him by their first name, but Coach Oliver for Central is going to do. I think he's going to ride the wheels of Walker Harris, who I preferably call him Walker Texas Ranger. So he is going to be in the saddle for Central. Another issue that Central has is replacing a lot of key pieces that have left to go to that players that have left to go to PWI schools. So we shall see what type of team that they have. Is the defense going to be better throughout the season, or are they going to regress? The person you really want to ask about this is Josh. Josh will tell you everything about Central. All right. And Central was one game away of going to the Celebration Bowl if they would not got put 50 points on them by Howard. So I think when it comes down to it, Central is going to be a competitive team. It's going to be a 3-team race with Central, Howard, and Morgan State, with South Carolina State right behind their heels coming up for this season in the MEAC. So y'all pay attention to that right there for this season. Coming in, coming in at number 6, We got Tennessee State. Tennessee State is coming off a six. Let me see. Make sure I'm correct. Make sure that I'm correct. I think they're coming off a 5-6 record or a 6-5 record. Okay, 6-6. Excuse me. They're coming off a 6-6 record. In the last couple of games where they could have qualified for the playoffs. They could have qualified for the playoffs. They were so not competitive. They were so not competitive in the last in fact the last 3 games of the season. They ended the season 6-5 last year. Of course, they did play Notre Dame in the first game of the season, and pretty much they was on the road. They held UT Martin to only 20 points, which was a good thing as far as because Martin does like to score a lot. They averaged over 30 points a game last season. They did beat Kennesaw State. They beat Norfolk State for the homecoming. Of course, Lincoln University, I feel like the game really don't count right there, but they did score a shutout, beat Lindenwood. Now, this is where the issues came in. The last 3 games of the season, they were outscored 100-38. In the last game of the season against Tennessee Tech, they were shut out. They had a goose egg, 35-0. To me, for Tennessee State, for Coach George, this is a make or break season for him. This is a make or break it season for Eddie George, right? I'm just putting it out there. You can't go. You had the momentum. They were 6-2. 6-2 with 3 games to go. 6-2 with 3 games to go. And they were outscored 100-38 in those 3 games. Of course, now you're going to come back with Draylon Ellis. DJ is going to come back more healthier. He has a grasp of the offense now. They did lose Terrell Allen. They still gave Jalen Bell, who's the transfer from Mississippi Valley State. He did only play 1 game last year because after the 1 game he was injured. He got injured. He missed the rest of the season last year. So, in my opinion, on the recruiting trail with Eddie George, they got bigger, faster, stronger on the defense. As far as the offense goes, on the offensive line, they got bigger and nastier on the offensive line. And the main thing is, can they keep DJ Ellis upright? That is the main issue right there. Also, the last 3 games of the season, can they pretty much recover themselves from last year? Let me see something. All right. It's been a while since Tennessee State won a conference title. So let's see what they got for their schedule this year. All right. Tail of the season is going to be when they play North Dakota State. That game will be in Fargo, North Dakota, at the Fargo Dome. It'll be on ESPN Plus. That is set September the 7th right there. So that is going to tell the tale of how the season is going to go. Tennessee Tech, Charleston Southern, and Eastern Illinois are all going to be early in the year, in the season, on the schedule instead of in the back end of the schedule. They do play SEMO this year, but I don't know how SEMO is going to be. They have UT Martin and they have Gardner-Webb on the schedule also. So this is a telling time because I feel like if they have to win the conference, they have to get into the playoff. Either win the conference or get an at-large bid into the FCS playoffs in order for Eddie George to keep his job. I think he is going to be on the hot seat. He is one of the coaches going to be on the hot seat for this season. If he comes out with another season like what he had last year. Why you say he's not on the hot seat? I think he's on the hot seat. You lose the last 3 games by being outscored 100-38. You are on the hot seat, bro. And here's the thing. Here's also the thing. He had a backing. He had the president of the school backing him up, which was Dr. Glover. She is not there no more now. So it's a lot of things that's going to change. Fundraising, I mean, he know how to fundraise, but still, we talk about football. I'm not worried about fundraising. We talking about strictly football. His one-loss record needs to be 7 or more wins with a playoff berth. And probably a first-round playoff win in the FCS playoffs. He is really going to be on the hot seat. Y'all might say he's not going anywhere, but he ain't got the backing of the president. Whoever the president is going to be, if they ain't into football, if they ain't into sports, it don't matter. Let's just see how the season plays. Because those 3 games, here's the games that, like I said, here's the games where it's gonna test its metal. North Dakota State, Tennessee Tech, Charleston Southern, Eastern Illinois. Early in the season. Tennessee Tech, they play them on the 21st of September. They got shut out by them last year, 35-0. Charleston Southern, September the 28th. Last season, Charleston Southern beat them by 14. Eastern Illinois is on October 12th. Last season, Eastern Illinois beat Tennessee State by 13, 30-17. Not only that, they still have to play UT Martin, Gardner-Webb, and Southeast Missouri. Their schedule is hard. So he has to win 7 games, get a berth in the playoff, and win a first round playoff game to make sure he keeps his job. I'm just putting it out there. Y'all can say he can fundraise and this and that and the third, but appreciate you. Send that to me. All right, coming in. This is preseason, y'all. This is preseason, so it'll change up. Preseason coming in. I'm number 5. You got Alabama State coming in at number 5 on the preseason ranking. All right, Mr. Jackson, and for all those Bama State Hornets that's in the chat right now, that's watching the show, I got you at number 5. You finished the season last year at 7-4. Cool. That's good. Great. Each year since he's been the head coach, Eddie Robinson, E-Rob, has improved his record each year. Now, what are some of the attractions? The defense. The defense. I got you at 5. The defense. Your cornerbacks, your safeties are all gone. You do bring back James Burgess. I did like seeing him play. The main reason why I got you at 5 also is you bringing in Andrew Body coming in from Texas Southern. The question mark is for the offense. And it's always going to be the narrative. This is going to be the narrative. Can he stay healthy? That's it. We all know what happened to him the last time when we first got hurt, which was unfortunate. All right. It's a game of football. But at the same time, he played 1 game last year. And that was it. That was it. Wide receiver is another issue. Your best pass catcher, Keyshawn Johnson, went to Kentucky. Went up to West Kentucky. So, 1, can you keep Andrew Body upright? Can he stay healthy? Is he healthy? Is he healthy enough for a 12-game schedule? Number 2, who are going to be your playmakers at wide receiver and at running back? Number 3, what are the wrinkles in the offense that you're going to see from Coach Barnett, who's the OC? You got him from North Carolina A&T. What is going to be his forte? And the last one is the defense. How do you replace a couple of All-Americans in Mikey Victor and Adrian Maddox at 2 corners? You bring in James Burgess on one side, who's going to be on the other side? Now, we all know that Coach E-Rob hangs his hat on defense. So it's all going to be the tell and tale of what type of defense is going to be out there. We all know Bama State has always going to have a big, ferocious, and nasty defense. Gotcha. So we shall see how this plays out. First test on the season is the Orange Blossom Classic against Central. That is their first test. The first test. That will be the first test for Banner State. Orange Blossom Classic. Second test is making sure that he goes through a full 12-game schedule. But pretty much we're not gonna hang my hat on to that too much. So we're gonna go to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we got Alcorn. Now, Alcorn, similar record with Alabama State at 7-4, coming in the West. Now, all right. Let's get to these notable games that they won last year. Notable games that they won. Of course, they won the Soul Bowl against Jackson State 28-24. They did beat Southern 44-21. Squeaked by Grambling 25-24. Defeated Alabama State 23-20. But there were some games on the schedule where they faltered. And one of those games was against Texas Southern on Sunday, 44-10. Also losing to Prairie View, 23-20. In a sense, this could have been a better season for Alcorn. But at the same time, let's see where we at. So big loss to Southern Miss, which was going to see, and then losing by 28 to Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches. And no, there was no issue with special teams in this game. They just got flat out beat. They did defeat McNeese State 17-3 last year. Like I said, lost to Prairie View 23-20. Defeated Alabama State 23-20. Defeated Grambling 25-24. Defeated Pine Bluff by 24. Valley beating them by 21. Did defeat Southern by 23, but you lose by 34 to Texas Southern on a Sunday, which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if, Sunday or Saturday or Friday or Thursday. You always got to be ready to play. And, of course, you win against Jackson State 28-24. Question mark is, this is Coach Thomas' first year coaching Alcorn. Last season, he was the defensive coordinator for the Braves when Coach McNair was the head coach. Now, Coach McNair has moved on to being the tight ends coach over at Southern University. Cedric Thomas takes over the helm, and he inherits pretty much almost the same football team that he had that was last year, which is going to be brought on by defensive stalwart Malachi Bailey. Nice defensive end, uses bull rush, uses power, had 9 sacks last year. On the offensive side, you don't have Jarvion Howard, and Aaron Allen is gone also. But you bring back Tyler Macon. In my opinion, in my eyes, is going to be the starter for Alcorn coming up. Now, the question is, can Macon make it the whole season? Miss Doucette, appreciate you. See, it's preseason. You got to take into account for what happened last year. We ain't going by prestige or nothing like that. Just in account from last year. And what they lost. So and if you gotta understand this, y'all, everybody on this preseason list, every team on this preseason list, right, is gonna have either a new coach, a new QB, a new OC, or a new DC, or whatever. All right. Everybody on the list is going to have something new. In fact, everybody on this list except for one school, two schools, is going to have continuity at the QB spot. Everybody else is on this list is going to have some sort of question mark. Everybody's going to have some sort of question mark on this list. The question mark with Alcorn is, can they get themselves over the hump and become the representative in the championship game? That is the question mark for Alcorn. Can they get over the hump? Can they beat their West opponents, which they really did? They did, except for the Texas Southern game. And in my opinion, yes, McKinney was fighting for his job, but his job was already sealed. His fate was already sealed in that game. Didn't matter if he won the game or lost the game. His fate was already sealed. They were not going to bring that man back. But with Alcorn, we want to know how they're going to be on offense with their new OC. With Coach Thomas is he still going to be calling plays on the defense while being the head coach? So we're about to keep moving because I'm pressed for time. Coming in at number 3, we got Howard University. Now I could have flip-flopped between 4 and 3, or 3 and 5, or 3 and 6 with Howard, but first question mark is who's going to be the QB? When Williams is gone, so they're going to rely on somebody that's younger, might be a little bit more inexperienced, or they might have somebody coming in from the transfer portal. Now, the person I would ask that question to, would be Miss Erica, who is a alum and a rep from Howard. Now, Ed don't sound like Adrian Crook. Don't sound like it. I don't want to roast you. Now, Howard does return key pieces to that offense and defense. And on the offensive line, they lose Anin Donkwa, that is 6'8", 360, left tackle. And hopefully they can replace him with somebody more, a little bit that's big, but more athletic than him. If you watch the Celebration Bowl, Anthony Dunn had his way with him the whole game. He had his way with Donkwa the whole game. And remember, they did play in the Celebration Bowl. They could have won the Celebration Bowl, all right, if it wasn't for some of the play calling that was going down the line in the second half. They returned Jared Hunter. They returned Eden James as far as for the offense. They returned Kenny Gallup on defense, and he is the leader of the defense. So they returned a lot of pieces from that runner-up team from last year. Remember, also, they did put 50 on North Carolina Central. They did go and beat Morgan this year. They only lost one game, and that was to South Carolina State in conference. So, of course, you know, they're going to have tiebreakers because Central and Howard was tied for tops of the conference at a 4-1 record, but because of the head-to-head matchup, Howard represented the MEAC in the Celebration Bowl. Central went on to the playoff to play Richmond. And yeah, Howard needs a QB. We shall see what happens during the season for Howard. And they have a chance. And if you really think about it, Howard has a chance of repeating as MEAC champions, y'all. They have a chance of repeating as MEAC champions. So they have a chance of repeating as MEAC champions. They have a chance of repeating as Celebration Bowl participants. All right. And then my other question mark was the play caller from Coach Larry Scott. That was my only other issue that I had with Howard last year was his play calling, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where some certain plays made sense and certain plays I shook my head like, dude, why are you doing that? And especially in that Celebration Bowl game where he pretty much, why would you have Quentin Williams throw you out of the game when you had the lead in the game? All you got to do is just keep running the ball. Run the ball, make intermediate passes, check downs, and the defense played the defense. Good defense. You win the game. Central got an issue. I mean, QB play. The QB. Preview is y'all QB and your defense. So like I said, Lionel, like I said, we ain't even got to Jackson State yet. We ain't got to the other schools yet. I mean, I could have flip-flopped between either one. At the end of the day, this is just preseason. This is just preseason, y'all. And if somebody want to jump the gun, coming in at number 2 is Jackson State University. Yeah, I said it. And part of it is me being biased, but the other part is You could say coaching. TC's coming in his second full season as a head coach. There's not too much turmoil from last year than what you see for this year with the roster. Remember last year we had to replace 60 players on the roster to try to even field a team that went 7-4 last year. People can point out the games that we won against and the games that we lost, but I'm gonna go in. And we just gonna go ahead and look at the games that we lost and the games that we won. All right. All right, 7-4 in the 7-4 overall record, 5-3 in the conference. Still good for a first-year head coach. Of course, winning the first game against South Carolina State, and then the second game of the season was the Orange Blossom Classic, losing that game 28-10 to FAMU. Defeating Southern in Baton Rouge, and also losing to Texas State in San Marcos by 43. Of course, beating close game against Bethune-Cookman at home, defeating Alabama A&M by 15 on the road. Damn it, losing the damn Bama State at homecoming. Yeah, I said it with my chest. We lost to y'all D-Bros at homecoming. That hurt me. That was one of the issues that I had when it came down to this, because some of the players that was on the team last year are not on the team this year from that game. All right. Could have put a goose egg on Valley, but yeah, TC wanted dominance in that game. He was pissed off about that game. Defeating Pine Bluff in Arkansas, that was a good one. And then a very close game, which should not have been close, against Texas Southern 21-19 at home. And then, of course, losing to Alcorn 28-24 in the Soul Bowl. Now, yes, y'all got lucky, Mr. Jackson. I said it with my chest. Y'all beat us at homecoming. I'm not a sore loser. But damn it, we had made so many mistakes in that game. Now here's my plus. Here's my plus and my minuses for Jackson State. Let's go with the minuses, because I want to go with what we don't have right now. The minus from last season was our play calling, offensive play calling to be exact. We thought that Maurice Harris was going to be a godsend to us, and he turned out to be Elmer Fudd. In certain instances, last season when you watch the offense play, we looked like a high-powered oil machine, and then in other cases, we looked like we was lost out there. We was lost in the sauce. So of course, we gonna speak our piece about the offense, because most people want to see the offense that we had under Coach Sanders, which in my case, we could throw the ball all over the field. Does it yield points? That's it. Does it yield points? All right. The other minus that I've seen was the defense. With Jonathan Bradley being the defensive coordinator. It was some times last season where I just wanted to pull out all my locks and say, Change the damn defense up. Get out the 3-man front. Do something. But learning down the line, learning later on, we had key injuries on our defense. Our linebacker play was suspect last year. I feel like this year we improved on our linebacker core by getting in quality players who are hard-nosed, who can tackle, and who knows how to fill in gaps and who can cover into space. All right. Now, those are the two things. The defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator in most of the time last season called terrible games. I'm gonna just put it just like that. I'm gonna put it just like that. Now on the plus side. Now let me continue on the minus side. Now on the minus side, we did lose a lot on our coaching staff. Some coaches, they felt like they got elevated to be one with, as far as a coordinator, being a defensive coordinator to being a defensive line coach again. Maurice Harris going from being an OC at Jackson State to now just being a special assistant under Hugh Freeze at Auburn, which I feel like, look, you just did a lateral move. But on the plus side, bringing in some quality coaches, young quality coaches to be exact. As far as with the defense, elevating Terenzo Quinn from defensive back coach to defensive coordinator, we shall see how he does in year one. Now, it takes at least 2 years for the defense for the defensive players to be acclimated in the system. But we're pressed for time right now. So we just got to figure out what we're going to have. We shall see what we're going to have as far as when it comes to blitz coverage. We're going to see what we have when it comes to gap control, running through the gaps. But as far as on the defensive backfield, we're going to be solid on the defensive backfield. Now, on the offensive side, we do return our starting quarterback. He was supposed to be the starter at the beginning of last year, but he had the injury to his wrist. Now, Jacoby Morgan comes in as a full-time starter with already 6 games under his belt of SWAT play. He's going to improve. We're looking to see him improve on the season that he had last year for this year, and also with the weapons that he has around him. Now, main contributor on for the offensive side of the ball will be Irv Mulligan. Mulligan played in, I think he played in 6 games all the way up until he was lost for the rest of the season with a leg injury. He's coming back now. We shall see him being bigger, faster, stronger. As far as when his play comes. The wide receiver room is stacked. So we do have the playmakers coming back: Enrico Powell, Fabian McCray, Kobe Paul. On the tight end side, you got Jesse Riley, who's coming back from injury. Sebastian St. Louis is going to contribute, and so forth. And we still had continuity on our offensive line. We only lost one player on our offensive line, that's Deontay Grant. Our offensive line is going to be spearheaded by Evan Henry, who's either going to be playing the center or the guard position. And we have the bookend with our left tackle, Quay Davis, who is anchored on on the offensive line as a freshman All-American. Now, the big question mark is for Jackson State is basically with TC Taylor. Can he make the leap from year 1 to year 2 with the team that he has? He did not lose a lot on this team for this year that he saw from last year that he inherited. Also, he added pieces to the team to make sure that the losses to make sure that whatever he loses, he still has continuity and he still has numbers. The other question mark is offensive play calling. TC will be taking over the offensive play calling. Something that you see a lot of coaches do nowadays. We saw that last year with Willis Simmons with FAMU. You see that sometimes with Connor Manning at Alabama A&M, and now you're going to see it with TC Taylor and Jackson State. So but we shall see. This is basically a preseason. So when the season starts, we can do some shuffling up and we can do some shuffling down. And y'all can clip this video right here and you can be like, I told you so if I'm wrong. Now, I can be like, ha, I told you so if I'm right. But I ain't going to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. But coming in at number 1, y'all gonna hate me. I really don't care. It's Florida A&M coming in at number 1. All right, the HBCU National Champs, Celebration Bowl champs is coming in at number 1. Now, the biggest question mark is Willie Simmons is gone. If I had the video from Timona, is Willie gone? Willie gone? And the second question mark is how they gonna fix it? Now, as the Rattler world turns, y'all already know, pretty much they did bring in a new head coach off the actual coaching staff at Colsey. Had a big argument about that because AD Sykes wanted Sean Gibbs from Fort Valley. Some wanted Billy Rowe that was already on the staff, and some wanted Colsey. So now you create this big old schism within your athletic department and around the school. The other question mark is who replaces Musa? Who is going to replace Jeremy Musa as the quarterback? We shall see. Now it's going to be a dogfight between Daniel Richardson, who is the transfer coming in from FIU, either FIU or FAU, whatever the one of the Florida schools he coming in from, and Junior Maritovich. In my opinion, be real with y'all, to be honest with y'all, I feel like Junior is going to have the slight edge over Daniel Richardson. Now, if he does become the starter, he's going to play behind an experienced offensive line anchored by Jalen Goss, Ashton Grable. They have continuity on the offensive line. Now, you got to replace your playmakers and Marcus Riley and Jamar Reed, Manigo. You got to play stuff. And Kamari, Kamari Young, the tight end, who are going to be your offensive playmakers. Of course, it's Florida. So you're going to find some sort of speedster out there regardless. We know that. But who is going to be the one that is going to say, put the ball in my hands? You bring back, you only lose Terrell Jennings off from your running backfield, but you have Kelvin Dean and Jacquez Yank coming back. And that's on offense. Defense, James Ash is your anchor on the defense. Seen him play. He's good as advertised. You lose Anthony Dunn to the FBS. You lose most of your players. Gentle Hunt to Illinois. Now your defensive backfield is going to be anchored by Kendall Bowler. I think Deco Smith comes back. You lose Eric Smith to the pros, but you have some sort of continuity when it comes to your defensive backfield. Linebacker play. Linebackers, you're only going to miss Isaiah Major. It all depends on who comes in, who's going to be the leader of the linebacker, who's going to be the leader of the defense. Coley was defensive. Coley was on the defensive side of the ball. You do lose Coach Smith as your defensive coordinator. You do lose your offensive coordinator, who was also your head coach. He's over at Duke as the running backs coach. So, can FAMU, the big question is, can FAMU continue their dominance in HBCU football? Can they continue that? We shall see. First game of the season, South Carolina State. Protect that 20-game home win streak. You are 22-2 since you entered the SWAC. And guess what? I figure you might have a home loss. You're probably going to lose 3 games. You're probably going to lose at least 3 games in the SWAC. And the reason why you're number 1, you won the Celebration Bowl. You're the HBCU national champ. The reason why you might have a fall from grace, in-house fighting. Colsey not doing his job. And it is what it is. But look, that is my top 10 for the preseason, y'all. Division 1. I'm gonna come back with Division 2 for tomorrow. So check out that show tomorrow. And check out, we're gonna do the history. We're gonna have a history lesson for tomorrow. And I don't understand. I'm doing this show off probably about 5 hours of sleep. I didn't go to sleep until about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. All right. I'm doing this show off burning just off of 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Just to bring y'all all this good stuff coming in right here. Again, if you have any, if you want to, you can always come in and donate to the channel. Hit the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle is down in the ticker below. Let's finish off. Try to get me to Birmingham for Monday. So that way I can bring in the just give y'all all the excellent coverage and all the questions, the hard-hitting questions to ask the players, the coaches, and even the commissioner. But other than that, got some things coming down the pipeline, and I might be covering some high school football here in Dallas. I talk about it all the time. North Texas high school football. Hey, try to get that done, and I'm also working on trying to build on this build up on my actual website. So I'm having a little bit of trouble doing that. But other than that, man, we still gonna keep this train rolling. Y'all, the bishop is in the building right now. But other than that, y'all, man, look, I appreciate everybody for joining me for this afternoon's show. Please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We are streaming between YouTube and Twitter. For all my folks down there in South Texas and Houston, man, keep your head up. We gonna be rocking with you, and also everybody else, I'm gonna be rocking with you as always. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still, like I said, I'm going off for 5 hours of sleep, and I gotta go to work for another 7.5, 8 hours, and gotta do another late night tonight and tomorrow night. So y'all understand where I'm coming from. But other than that, man, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody for joining me today. As always, y'all, I am Doc Holliday. This is HBCU tonight. Powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. As always, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones, and man, stay dangerous out there. We'll be back on this thing tomorrow. Same time, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.